Hi, I'm Solbrick and I'm building a custom Lego city called Soultown, and I want to inspire you to create your own Lego city. In today's video we're going to have a look at the result of my cable car system that goes from one raised level to another even higher raised level in Soultown. Subscribe for more Lego city builds and inspiration. The way this works is inspired by a small cable car I went by to a restaurant on a hill in Cambodia. It was pulled by a tractor and the food was excellent. My version is pulled by a shunter engine or a switcher. In my previous video I talked about the problem with not getting the engine heavy enough to get the needed traction to pull the car. Thankfully, the viewer Renzo Jaeger gave me the tip to use casting sinkers, the ones you use for fishing. So I poured down as many sinkers I could fit into this design and it now works like a charm. Thank you. The shunter goes on a restricted short rail track between two buffer stops. I made them a bit different in design, mostly because of how they are placed. As you can see, I've started covering the track with black and white tiles, and the reason for that is that I want this area to be used for other things when the shunter isn't in service, a bit like how tram rails are part of the city streets. The first cable car stop had to be a bit higher up so that the gondola doesn't hit the side when it comes up here, but also because I figured out that the line had to be in this angle to work as good as possible for gravitation to pull the car back down. I made the stop so it looks to be a part of the old city stone wall and that the city simply repurposed this small tower into a cable car stop. The gun is just there for safety if the capitalists would attack whenever they take a break from polluting the planet. I wanted to add some color to the build, so underneath where the car stops we have a grass lawn with beautiful flowers. I should really add a bench here though. Up on the mast, the string that the shunter pulls goes through this wheel. The two string cables that the car is pulled over are stationary and they don't move, but I've made them so that I can adjust the tension. I find that it works best if it has some slack to it. You gotta be a bit careful at the lower level so you don't fall over the edge, but you have the warning signs there. You might die and become a ghost and then the Ghostbusters will bust you. Not fun at all. This stop has a nice roof to protect the passengers from the weather. To be honest, it never rains in Soultown because this is built indoors. The strings are hooked to this simple build. I've only used official Lego strings, but there might be other types of strings or maybe even rubber bands that works better. The gondola is based on the red gondola from Spider-Man 2, set 4852, the final showdown from 2003. That's a super cool set that I wished I had bought then, but I was more into getting laid back in the day, unfortunately. Oh yeah, so the rail and the motor is the old Lego 9-volt system that's known as the best Lego train system. It runs on short power and here's the speed regulator for it. I tried the power-up functions, but that system is really hard to control on short tracks since it uses infrared signals and it's just hard to stop it in time, resulting in the whole build crashing down and me saying bad Swedish words like hurdy-dirty and smorgasbord. Yeah, it was horrible, but I managed to pull myself together again, and yeah, the build as well. Let's enjoy the system at work. Here we go! So I'm super happy with this and I'm looking forward to continue the build of this part of Soultown in coming videos. With that said, make sure to stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome and please subscribe.